Hello everybody, Unstoppable Tracy in Dallas Airport. I have just come from Las Vegas and it was the incredible Luxor Hotel. What some of you may or may not know is that's the hotel that's shaped like a pyramid and has the beautiful Egyptian part cat, part Cleopatra in front of it. It's an astounding facility, but not half as astounding and mind-blowing as Barnard was, who was presenting on the Odyssey, and I was supporting his team in learning and speaking and being an ally in the room. You know, Alan is such a warm, humble man, but he is really a brilliant genius who has studied Eli Goldratt and all of his phenomenal research around decision making. And you know, essentially, we all gather information until we get to some kind of threshold where we can't gather any more information, and we decide. And we sort of do our very best to cover all that data. But there's so much data that basically the bottleneck in management is this intake of information, and you can only handle so much. And so where the bottleneck comes from is in the management's capacity to manage all that data. And so what happens is that sometimes we try to prioritize, and I want to say hello to the wonderful agent. This is American Airlines. Thank you so much. You say hi to my viewers. Come come behind me. You see you? There he is. Wonderful man. Thank you for joining me. Take care.
I'll be right back to take care of you.
Thank you. Isn't that incredible service? That's American Airlines for you. And so we get to this threshold and we have to decide. And so how do we decide as managers or as entrepreneurs of our own business? And what we do is we prioritize. So we prioritize the most information. And we think that that's brilliant. People that are really good at prioritizing, and it is good. But what it does is it just shuffles around the data. So we prioritize what we're going to handle first, but then we still have to handle, for example, if there's 10 things, we prioritize 2, but the other 8 things are still waiting for us to do them. So what really great, effective people do, and you know the famous Benjamin Franklin letter where he says, well, I don't know what your issue is, but I can tell you, if you weigh out your list of pros and weigh out your list of cons and see what cancels each other out, that's a great way to decide. So Benjamin didn't need to know his friend's problem. All he needed to do is encourage us to do our pros and cons. And sort of that's still the best decision-making vehicle, is best case, worst case. You know, look at what would happen if you go for this decision. What's the best case scenario? And look what would happen in the worst case if you don't do this scenario. And so this is all part of helping us with this bottleneck of information that we get. And so what we need is ROMA, what they call ROMA in the textbooks. And that's the return of management attention, because it's the attention and the lack of being able to attend to all of the information. And we miss out sometimes gathering the important data, like what's in it, you know, involve the people that it's about. Nothing about us without us. Who are the folks that are implementing that decision, for example? And where can we have return of management attention? So best case, worst case on your decision making. You know, and really believing you can, for example, as a decision. Believe you can. Is that the best decision ever? All my life I've always said, if you believe you can make it happen. But you know, Alan gave us this example. What if I believed I could cross a tightrope from the top of one tall building to another tall building, and I'd never practiced before? Maybe believing I could cross that tightrope is not the best decision, not the most helpful decision. And so believing you can is often the best decision, but believing you can and then arming yourself what you need to know to be able to cross that tightrope and practice in your business and in those tightrope decisions. So I highly recommend downloading Alan's app called Harmony Decision Maker. Harmony Decision Maker. And it asks you questions about the decision that you're making and the problem that's causing you to make this decision. And what it did for me is it opened up new ideas and new possibilities. I'm Unstoppable Tracy, and I have a page called Unstoppable Tracy, Unstoppable You. Welcome, all of you, wealthy, healthy, and on purpose. Thanks for joining me.